Hey Mo, how are you?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. Maxie was talking today. He might have been a little surprised you didn't give him a call since you know him so well to maybe come up and punt on Sunday night. But is your contingency plan at punter already in the building, or is it maybe someone that is going to come in for a tryout?
I would say both at this point in time.
Okay.
Bill Huber.
Hey Mo, how you doing?
Doing well.
Good. Hey, you guys signed David Moore to the practice squad today. He's returned some punts. Could he, obviously probably not Sunday, but is he a contributor, you think, for you guys? Is that maybe the thinking there?
Yes, he does have a history of returning punts and kickoffs. He did a fine job when he was in Carolina, most recently with Denver. So he does have a skill set, and when he's ready to rock and roll, I'm sure he'll get the green light.
Jason Wilde.
Hey Mo, how are you today, sir?
Hey, Jason.
So I got a little grief from a few folks who were watching this interview session last week for asking you if you felt like you were trending in the right direction. But forget them, frankly. But you were, right? I mean, you guys, things went pretty well on Saturday. I understand that you have high expectations and demands, but is it possible that you have, knock on wood for you guys, turned the corner and you're starting to kind of find your balance after all the stuff you've been through this season?
Yes, yeah, and I appreciate your question last week. I think that was a fair question. Things are trending in the right direction, but we have to continue to be better than our former selves each day, and continue to try to stack days. That's what we have to continue to do: stack days and get a little bit better each and every day.
Do we have any other last questions for Coach before we let him go? Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, but Peter, who's obviously he's played a lot of special teams in the league. What does he bring to your group once he gets if he gets a chance?
Well, I tell you what, he brings experience from the fact that he's done it, he's seen it. You know, practice is a controlled environment, but he's actually done it in games, so he's able to bring that element to the room, and he's able to share from that standpoint. So it's been a joy to have him so far, and he's been spreading some of his wisdom onto some of our young pups. So we're pretty excited about him.
Tom Silverstein.
Hi, Mo. A couple things, if I may. One, do you keep a list of punters that just sort of an emergency kind of list that you have familiar with, or does Brian and his group handle all of that?
Well, they definitely have their lists, but I always try to do my due diligence. I have a list of punters, kickers, snappers, holders, and returners. And if ever asked, I would definitely give my input. But I think you have to do that, and you have to have those guys ready at the drop of a dime, because we do not get the luxury of carrying a second stringers in our various positions.
Yeah. Secondly, I don't. I'm not trusting my memory, but did Alan Lazard do some holding during training camp? Was he your backup guy?
Well, we've had several people to do holds during training camp. Alan was one of them. I want to make sure I tell you the truth. It was 8 different guys that we've worked holding. So we feel pretty confident going forward if our holder is not back, which we sure hope he is.
Brian Wood.
From a schematic standpoint, how difficult is the week on you when you're not 100% sure who will be your punter? Is that a position where you can kind of plug anyone in there and keep the framework of the scheme in place, or do you have to change your scheme much depending on who the guy is?
Well, it depends on the individual. Based upon the individual, we'll build the scheme around him, especially with a short notice. I tell you, it's you said, is it easy? It's kind of the life of a special teams coach. We have the mentality of close ranks, keep marching, and that's what we've done so far, and we feel really good going forward with our plan.
Jason Wilde.
Hey Mo, we've asked a lot about Bojo here, but you got Oren on the COVID list and you got Ty on IR, and those guys have been two really big mainstays for you. Who's kind of stepping into the void? Because I know how important it is to have guys that are leaders in that group. Who are those guys that are kind of taking that on?
Well, I tell you, it's not any one particular person by name, but the group. I told Coach Gizzy on yesterday, we had our best special teams practice to date on yesterday. The guys' awareness, their attention to detail is at a heightened level, almost as if they do not want to let down their big brother, OB, that's what we call him, or their big brother, Ty Summers. So really like the work we put in yesterday and really excited about this upcoming task. I tell you what, Minnesota has a great kick returner. I want to say they're second in the National Football League with maybe an average drive start or average return of 27 yards. Kane Najangu, I believe is his name. I tell you, he has 2 touchdowns, 2 kickoff return touchdowns, a 98-yarder and a 99-yarder. So this guy can really go. So we have a big challenge, and we're up for the challenge. The guys are putting in the work.
Tom?
Well, I had one technical question. Could you explain what the penalty was on Patrick Taylor on that kickoff return?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. I tell you what, this is kickoff return 101. No one feels worse than Patrick, so I feel comfortable in talking about it because we had to address it in the room. It's called a wedge block. The 2 guys who are back deep protecting the returner, so to speak, they are not allowed to engage someone who is already engaged. So if you go to the film, you'll see that 49, Dominique Daphne, was engaged on one of their men, and Patrick Taylor came and he engaged the man also. And very disappointed in that penalty. That should not happen, not then or ever. That is one of the things we pride ourselves on rules knowledge, and Patrick knew the rule, and it's just one of those things like we talked about earlier. When in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the battle, we just have to slow down everything for these guys so that they can react and process in the right manner.
Thank you for that.
One more for you, Coach. Ryan Wood.
Yeah, who is your holder if Bojo can't hold this week?
We have a contingency plan for that, and we have multiple guys in the building who we've tried out. So I tell you what, we'll see on Sunday night.
Have you decided yet who that will be, or is that still kind of a work in progress determining who that is?
The contingency plan states that it's one of multiple people, and on Sunday we'll have that individual ready to rock and roll if Bojo's not back.